Hello world, welcome to my channel. I am Sahil and we were creating a Crud application using Vue.js, PHP and MySQLi, and this is the third part of the series. In previous videos, you have already seen that how I have designed the interface using Bootstrap 4 and Vue.js framework. Now in this video, I'm going to show you how to create database and table for this Crud application, and we will also code server-side part for processing data using PHP. So let's first create database and table. So open your PHP My Admin and click on new to create new database. So here I am writing my database name crud_view and click on create. So database has been created. Now create a table. So I am creating users table. Now click on go. Now we have to define the column names in the table. So first column name is for ID and type will be int and length 11. Make this column auto increment and primary key. Okay, and our second column will be name, type varchar and length 100, and next email varchar 100, and the last one is for phone varchar and length 50. And make this email column unique for storing only unique email ID. Okay, so for this let's change the index to unique. Okay, now click on go. So our table is ready. Now click on save. So now you can see the database and table has been created. Now open your project. So this is our project crud-vue-php, and I have a file index.html that I have already created in previous videos. Now today I am not going to code inside this index.html file. I am going to create a new file, that is process.php, and here I will write PHP script for handling backend data. Okay, so for this so first here I am writing code for connecting to the database. So here I am just creating a variable con equal to new MySQLi and write the name of your server. So I am using localhost, server username and password, and here database name. So I have used crud_view in PHP My Admin, so we have to write crud_view, the name of the database. And now check using if statement that connection is established or not. So here I am using this connection variable and calling a function connect error. Okay, so if something went wrong or not connect to the database, then we will simply display a message using this div function connection failed. Okay, simply show the error message using the same variable connect error. Okay, now let's echo let's try in our browser that the connection to the database is established or not. So here is our project. Now just write process.php. okay, and hit enter. Now here you can see the success message. It means our connection to the database is working fine. Now just delete this echo message, and now here I will create a result array variable, and here I will store a value with key error, and value is false. and create one more variable action and make this empty. Now here I am using if statement and using this set function. Now I am using this super global get variable and passing action here. Now I'm going to get the value using this action variable. So just action equal to get and write action. Okay, so we are going to get the action value from the URL. So you will see later how I get the action value from the URL. So let's code for showing all the users from the database. So for this I am just creating another if statement, and here I am writing action equal read. Okay, now inside this if statement, first I will write a SQL statement, that is our query. So here just using this con variable write query method, and inside this we will write our SQL statement select asterisk from users, the name of the table. Okay, now I will create another array variable, that is users, and here I am just creating a empty user variable with array type. Now using while loop I will create a new variable row, and using this SQL variable I will use fetch sock method, and I will use a array function array push, and here I will just pass this variable, and in where I will pass row. Okay, so after executing this SQL statement, it will fetch all the records from the database and store in this row variable. Now after executing this array push function, it will assign all the row values inside this user array variable. Okay, so now here we will simply use this result variable and create a new array variable users. Okay, and we will assign users. Okay, now if you want to see what is coming from the server, so here we have to echo, and here I will use JSON encode. Okay, everything I will send to the client in JSON format. Okay, so here we have to write result. Now go to browser, and here just use question mark and action equal to read. Okay, so action equal to read. Now click enter. Now here you can see type error false, user is empty, because we have not any user present in the database. So let's add a user. So this is our users table. Now go to insert, and from here just insert a user gmail.com. Okay, now click on go. So one user has been added to the users table. Now here let's refresh. So here you can see the value are displaying in JSON format. So later we will use in the Vue.js this JSON format data and display in our main page. Okay, so now let's code for another action like for updating or deleting data. So So I will use another if statement. Just copy the same thing and paste here. Now here just change create. So this if statement will insert a new record into the database. So here I will write the query insert. So before writing the SQL statement, let's create the variable for name equal to, and this time I will use super global variable post method, and name and email, post email and phone. Okay, all the variable is created. Now here we have to write insert into users, and here we have to define the column name. So our first column name is name, email and phone. Okay, now here we have to write values, and inside this parenthesis we have to pass the variable that we have just created, name, email and here phone. Okay, now this is our SQL statement. Now let's delete this part. Now here I will use if statement and check this SQL statement is executed. If it is executed successfully, then we will simply store a message in a result array variable with message, and here I will write user added successfully. Okay, user added successfully. Now if something went wrong or some error is occurred, then I will store some custom error message. First we have to set error equal to true, and then I will use same message, and here I will write a custom error message like failed to add user. Okay, now this is for inserting a new user. So let's copy the same thing, and now this time I will write for updating a user. Okay, so let's paste. Now let's change this create to update, and I will also get the ID equal to post method and ID. Okay, now in SQL statement we have to write update users set name equal to name, and email equal to this email, and phone equal to this phone, and we will use where ID equal to this ID. Okay, now again we will use same if and else to show the error or success message. So here we can just write user updated successfully, and here failed to update user. Okay, so this is also done. Now create one more if statement for delete a user. So let's copy the same thing, and just below here paste, and this time just change delete, and we don't need these variables, so delete. We only need ID, and here in SQL statement just delete, and here write delete from users where id equal to id, and again we will show the success and error message same like using if and else statement. So here I will write user deleted successfully, failed to delete user. Okay, now save this. Here you can just close the connection. So okay, so our process.php has been done. So if you want to check this process.php, is this working all the actions or not, so I am using this Postman to test this PHP script. So let's go to the browser first, and from here let's copy the URL. Okay, copy and go to Postman. Here just paste. So I am just getting all the record from the database using this action equal to read, and this is the URL, okay, of our project. So we are using get method for reading the data from the database. So click on send. So here you can see we have one user that is present in our database is displaying in JSON format. Okay, so this is working fine. Now let's insert a user. So for inserting we have to change this action equal to create. Okay, and we also have to add form data. So our first key is name, so we can write like Sahil Kumar, and next is email sahil@gmail.com. next phone. Okay, now for create action we have used post, so just change here post and click on send. So here you can see error is false and message is user added successfully. Now go to your browser, check in database that user has been added or not. So you can see the user is added, it means it is working fine. Now let's add a same let's add a user with same email ID that we already has been added. So let's see what happens. So here I'm just changing the name Harry Potter, and the email is same. Now click on send. So you can see we have a message failed to add user, because in table creation time we have set the email to unique. That's why it is not allowed to add same email ID in the table. Okay, so it is also working fine. Now if we change the email here like Harry, and now let's click on send, then you can see the user has been added successfully. So you can check in the database also. Yes, the user has been added to the database also. Now let's update a user. So I will just update this user, last user that has an ID 4. Okay, so here just write update, and now this time a ID is also required, and I am just updating this last record that has an ID 4, so we have to write 4 here. So I am just going to update the name. So I've just changed name to Ron, and let's send. So here you can see the success success message, user updated successfully. Now check in the database the user has been updated or not. So yes, the user has been updated. So update action is also working fine. Now last, let's check the delete is working or not. So we will delete this last record. So we have use this, we will use this id for there to delete. So just change the URL, delete, and here we don't need this, we will only send this id equal to 4 and click on send. So here you can see the successful message, user deleted successfully. Okay, now go to the table, refresh. So here you can see the user has been deleted. So our PHP script is working fine. Now in next video we will use this PHP script for getting the data from the database and inserting the data or updating or deleting the data using Vue.js. Okay, so that's it for now guys. If you like this video, then hit on like button and please subscribe my channel.